Let's make a delicious plant-based Ukrainian borscht. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're going to make a Ukrainian borscht that is so delicious, and especially right now when it's really cool in the evenings, it's a great soup and so comforting. And this is actually a suggestion from one of our supporting members from last month's product giveaway, Kevin France. All right, so we're going to get started with one onion that's diced. And we're just going to saute that for about 5 minutes just to cook the rawness out of the onion. And you don't need any oil for this. If it does start sticking just a little bit, you can either use just a little bit of your vegetable broth or just a little bit of water and it'll come right free. Okay, so now we're going to throw in our garlic, and this is 2 cloves of minced garlic. And 2 carrots diced. You want them pretty small, a pretty small dice. You know, you don't want any big chunks in there. 2 bay leaves. 2 cups of diced or chopped, kind of finely chopped cabbage. You could also use red cabbage, but the beets have so much color in them that it will turn this red. So you don't have to worry about that part. And then 2 or 3 ounces of tomato paste. And we're just going to cook this for a few minutes just to kind of bring out some of the flavor of the tomato paste and to cook the garlic before we add our remaining ingredients. Okay, so now on to the rest of our ingredients. And today our miso paste is from our partner Essential Organics, who carry over 600 organic products. And if you want to check them out, you can use the code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout for 10% off your order. So we're going to put that in there. So 1 tablespoon of their red miso paste. 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, or you could use just a regular white vinegar or even apple cider vinegar. And then 2 potatoes. These are Yukon Golds, just cubed, so that it's a nice, bite-sized pieces. You don't want them too big, because think about eating a soup. You want a nice little chunk in your mouth. And then the star of the show are our beets. So this is 2 medium-sized beets that you need to cut up really thin, and they call it a matchstick dice. Because they take a little bit longer to cook, and this will cut down your cooking time, and each little bite will have just little pieces of beet in it. So in that goes. And then we've got 1 liter of a low sodium vegetable broth. And then I'm going to add some cracked pepper. Okay, so you're going to bring this up to heat to almost a boil, but then turn it down to a simmer. And you're going to cover it, and you're going to cook it until the beets are soft enough just for a nice texture. They don't need to be super mushy, but they don't need to have a crunch left to them. So that could take anywhere from about a half an hour to 40 minutes. So you're just going to have to take off the lid occasionally and test it. And then you'll know it's done. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Okay guys, our soup is done. If you want to come in and take a look. So all that you need to do now is take the bay leaves out, set them aside, and let this cool a bit, of course, before you eat it. And if you see here, you know, you can still see the color of the potatoes and the carrots, but if you have leftovers by tomorrow, this is all going to be the uniform, beautiful red color. But, you know, right now it tastes and looks beautiful too. And just a tip for you, you could make this in the Instant Pot, but I really think this soup is so packed full of flavor and you really want all of this stuff to meld together and to cook in the broth and to get that flavor really consistently. And I think that is so much better when you do it on the stovetop. If you do it in the Instant Pot, those flavors just don't have that time to incorporate in there. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool a bit and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay, let's dig in, guys. Get it good. Oh, wow. Such a beautiful color. And if you want it more brothy, you could use a little bit more vegetable broth. I kind of like it like this. You get a little equal broth and soup. And I'm going to add a little bit of my homemade soy yogurt in here. If you want to check that out, go look on our website. And that recipe's there. I really like that in here because typically it's served with sour cream, and this kind of gives you that same effect. So much flavor. Yum. You're gonna love it. Come on back next week for another great recipe.